Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family.
Hello, how are we today? Good morning. Sorry I'm a little late. So what are we all up to? Did anybody get any canvas art done last week? Hi Helen, how are you? Any serviette art done last week? I've got a bit of an update for you today. It's Technology Tuesday. So I went to my grandson's 6th birthday on the weekend. I can't believe he's 6. He was so wired on Saturday night after he had his family party. He went to flip out with friends, with 20 friends. No serviette art for you. You're working on grandkids scrapbooks. Yeah, good on you, Helen. Yeah, he went to flip out, which is like trampolines and things. And yeah, it does, doesn't it? So he had 20 friends at his flip out party, and he got socks, bright green socks with little treads on the bottoms, and of course Scarlett did too. And Scarlett's favourite bit was going in some squirty spongy pit or something. I don't know, night. So Gran went to bed with him. Hi Wendy, how are you? And stayed there all night. So I didn't get much sleep Saturday night. And yeah, Bob's still snoring merrily, so I can't get into my settings. Just wait 2 ticks. No, I can't. All right. Yeah, I didn't get any photos, Helen, so I'll have to get some photos done. Anyway, I've got a bit of an update on last week's napkin art. Remember I did this page, and I did it. Hello, Pat, how are you? From Canada. I did it with the liquid glue. Yeah, well, the liquid glue stayed wet, didn't it? Or sticky. So we're going to do something with that today, and we're going to do something with the Bloom and Grow bundle. Something a little bit different, I think. So anyway, make sure you go to my blog and have a look and see what clubs I've got going. My product shares are almost at an end. On the 25th of this month, they come to an end. I've got DSP, hello Gail, ribbon, embellishments. I think that's about it. And my clubs, I've got a 12 by 12 cardstock club, a punch club, and yeah, you know, paper punches, not a punch in the arm. And what's the other one? Oh, Stampin' Blends club. So they're the clubs I've got going. All right, so I'm not going to rabbit on it anymore. I'm going to bring you in and flip the camera around, and we'll have a look at this page and see what I'm going to do to it to fix it so I can actually use it. We're going to use some Stampin' Up embossing paste. Thanks for sharing, Gail. I really appreciate that. Right, so this is the napkin art that we did last week, and I did it with liquid paste, and while it's liquid glue, Tombow. Remember when we talked about the fat end and the thin end and what to use those for? All right, so it stayed tacky, and I don't do tacky for scrapbooks. I find they pick up all the dust and other things that you don't want to stick to them. So thanks for sharing, Wendy. All right, so don't forget to like my page, and oh, see how sticky it is? And then you'll get notifications of when I go live. So I'm getting out my I think this is the shimmery white one. Shimmery white embossing paste. And when you use the embossing paste, it's important to put back, I usually put some Glad wrap over this, but it's important to put back the lids that are on it. So all I'm going to do with this is just get some on my palette knife, like that, and put it on my work, and then smooth it over. Now this is going to give the whole area a real shimmery, sparkly look. So I'm thinking this might have to be either a garden sort of page. I have to see if I can find some of my photos from Floriade a few years back, or a party or something you could do. So that bit of embossing paste has gone a fair way. Just need a bit more to finish the job. And I have gone off the serviettes just to make sure I get all the glue covered, so the page doesn't remain sticky. So I just wanted to do this with you this week so you could see what I do, and then I'll try and make a page with it during the week, maybe with little Miss Scarlet or maybe Miss Page, who really quite likes her arts and crafts. They're both for these two young ladies, and they're both gorgeous. But Paige really enjoys doing arts and crafts, and she does it with her dad. He's been doing painting with her, and she absolutely loves it. So I've made up a box and I've put paint and straws and bubble wrap and like a very thin cutting mat in it, so that her dad can cover it with Glad wrap and they can do squishy stuff. And I've given him instructions of what to do with the different bits I've put in there. Plus she's got I managed to buy a unicorn pencil case at Kmart for a couple of dollars, so I put some coloured pencils in there too. And she's got a big pad of paper, and Gran also bought a notice board to go up in the grandkids' room, and that's to put all their art and craft on it. Alright, so that's about done. Now it will be grainy and sparkly, but it will cover all that glue, and it won't be sticky. So just lots of sparkle. Alright, so what do you think? Alright, so clean up in water. So I've just got a pot of water here that I'll pop my brush in and then move it out of the way. And it's important, as I said, to make sure you cover your embossing paste properly and put the lid on, and keep the lid on tight, otherwise it tends to dry out. Now I have found that if it dries out, just add a little bit of water and it sort of comes back. Might be a bit lumpy and you might have to spend a bit of time you know, mixing it up. bit like playing with icing. Yes, and I can't get that bag done up, so I'll do that later. All right, so that's the page, and I'm just going to give me 2 ticks while I move that out of the way. So this is what we're using today, Bloom and Grow. It's a lovely bundle, and you can find it on page 130 of the new annual catalogue. And there is a stamp set which has 13 photopolymer stamps, and it coordinates with the Budding Blooms dies, which are on page 191. 191 is over here. So Budding Blooms dies, and there are 10 dies, with the largest one being 11.1 by 4.4 centimeters. So that's a lovely floral set if you're into florals, and there's some beautiful florals in this catalogue. So that's what we're using today, and we may also use the stitched nested labels dies. So what I've done is, let's find somewhere for my catalogue, there we go. I have cut a piece of thick fairy vanilla, I think it was thick fairy vanilla, into a 6-inch strip. So that's A4 length, and I've cut it into a 6-inch strip, and I've run it through the Big Shot with the tin tile dynamic textured impressions embossing folder. Are they now called Stampin' Cut dies or something? I don't know. Anyway, so I've run it through with that. All right, so that's the whole piece. Now I'm going to just grab my trimmer and score it at 1/2 inch or 1.3 centimeters. And that will be our bottom. And I'm just going to score it on this side also at 1/2 inch or 1.3 centimeters. So score on 2 sides, one short side and one long side at 1/2 inch or 1.3 centimeters. Then I'm going to bring in my bone folder after I've had another sip of coffee. Has anyone got this bundle? It's a really pretty bundle. All right, I'm just going to turn that up. 1/2 inch is probably a bit much, but we've got 6 inches to play with, so. And then score it on this end. And then I'm going to just fold it in half, really, like that. All right, then I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm just going to cut this 1/2 inch here just to the middle. So if I grab a pencil, so you'll be able to see the middle is here. So I'm just going to cut to that point there. Times the trimmer doesn't like folded bits, so I probably should have cut that before. All right, so just cut to there, and it doesn't matter if you don't quite get there, you can always use your snips to finish that off. And I'm just going to bring in my snips and cut that off there, because we only need one side to it here. Right, I'm going to trim this little corner off. Probably like that, just at an angle, straight across the corner. Alright, I need some tear and tape. And we're going to close the sides and the bottom at the same time. So put your tear and tape right along the crease or the score line. That means you don't have any bits that sort of jut out, if you like. And then the same on the bottom, right along the score line. So I'm using tear and tape and thick, very vanilla cardstock, and I've embossed it with the tin tile folder, which will be available again shortly. They're being remanufactured at the moment. All the Sizzix ones that carried over are being remanufactured by Stampin Up to be Stampin Up ones. Alright, so then we're just going to close this over. Yep, didn't do a very good job of that. Close that over there. So you want the edges all to meet, like that. Just need to, that'll be fine. Alright, so there we go. There's our pouch. So I'm just going to run my bone folder over those edges, and there we've got our pouch. Now you can put all sorts of things in there, but we need to, you know, tizzy it up a little bit. So I'm going to use some crumb cake and a sponge, and just come in here and lightly sponge over the tin tile. So it gives that sort of weathered type look. And I remember when we were growing up, we had an outside bathroom that was also a laundry, and it had this type of pattern on the roof. It's a very old place, but has lots of lovely memories. Alright, so we've done that side. Make sure you do the edges as well. So you want to just go along those edges and make sure they've got a bit of ink on them, even the ones you scored, and adhered together. And I'm going to go across the top as well. Alright, and do the same on the other side. Do the edges, and then just come in and colour over it with your sponge. I was going to do a box today, but just I was a bit tired, too tired to think about it this morning, so this was idea number 2. So this is what we're doing. Alright, so I think that's about enough. And I think I've talked to you before about how I do my sponges. This one's an old one because it's got an old oval punch, but I punch out a shape in the colour and I write on it, and I staple it to either a 1/6 or an 1/8 of an inch sponge. So I cut all my sponges into bits and staple them, and then I keep them in a container, and I've always got them. I don't have to worry about having to find one that's the right colour or similar colour or something like that. All right, so then I'm going to bring in some Merry Merlot, and I just need a scrap for this, so that scrap will be fine, and some Versamark. Love my Stampin' storage, can I tell you? It is fantastic. Got it here on my table. I'm just going to check. Hello, Kathy Johnson. Thank you for sharing. Hi, Rails. How are you? Hi, Leslie. Thanks for sharing. I've just refreshed my page. You can probably see my fluffy blue jumper. As soon as it starts to get cold, I feel it. I just don't like the heat and don't like the cold. Just so it's nice in between, I like. All right, so I'm going to use the sentiment that says, "Thank you from the bottom of my heart." All right, so that's this sentiment. Probably should get my embossing buddy out, but anyway. So the best way to do your stamps is to lay them flat on a surface and bring your block in over the top and press down. All right, now I don't have to worry about whether this is straight or not. Hope this is going to fit. We might have to change ideas halfway through. All right, so that's Versamark on Merry Merlot, and I've got some white Stampin' Emboss powder here in a container, and just emboss that. You can see it's been a while since I used this piece of Merry Merlot. Christmas time by the look of it. All right, tip off the excess back into your container. It's not very well. All right, put the lid on. Did anyone watch the stamp motion video of the new catalogue where they did the embossing and all the embossing powder went everywhere? Oh, I cringed at that. All right, just a bit of noise. Do you know what? I don't like that because it's picked up where I put the stamp before. So, 2 sides to every piece of card. All right, in with the Versamark. In with the sentiment. Out with the Versamark. In with the embossing powder. Let's try that again. Second time lucky. All right, tip off the excess. One more lot of embossing powder. All right, that's better. All right, lid, lid, lid. Just need a brush for a second. It's got a few strays here. I just flick them off with a brush. If I used my embossing buddy, that wouldn't happen. But okay, that's good. Now, just let me see these stitch nested label dies, and see if this one's going to work. No, it could be a bit too close, and I think this one's going to be a bit big. Oh, that might be all right. Let's give it a go and see. So these are the stitch nested labels dies. Beautiful dies. I got a new, because we went down to Sydney on the weekend, I got to go to IKEA. Thought it was very good. I only spent $100 or something. But I got a new trolley with the lid that goes on top. The timber tray. So I can put my big shot on it. And I've got some little buckets to hang off the side for pens and what have you. So don't ask me what else I got. No idea. Alright, so that's looking good. Okay, so that's a stitch nested label die that we've used on Mary Merlot with Versamark and white Stampin' Emboss powder. And I think that'll look nice on there. Alright, so next I'll just put this die away so I don't lose it. Grab some more coffee. Grab the memento. And we might do this one. Yep, we'll do this one. On, I thought I had a scrap of, I do. I've got a scrap of Very Vanilla that I cut off the piece I used for the pouch. So I'm just going to pop this piece down. Pop it on my block. And for this one I'm going to do ink to stamp and make sure I've got it all nicely inked up with my memento. And come in and stamp that down. Beautiful. All right. It's all right. I'm just spraying these stamps with Stampin' Mist. Okay, so I always like to leave the memento to dry for a short time, just to make sure that it's totally dry. And I'm doing it on the thick Whisper White, so we're going to use some Stampin' Blends. And let's see, I don't think we've got a Mary Merlot, have we? No, but we've got Mossy Meadow. Might be a bit dark for what I want. Try some Old Olive. So old olive, yep, old olive, and we might go to do we have a blackberry bliss? That's what I'm looking for. What's this? Blackberry bliss. Rich razzleberry. Light blackberry bliss. And pumpkin pie. Yeah. Cajun craze, I think. So how about we try those colours with Stampin' Blends. So I'll come in with the light, and I usually use the bullet tip. I use the bullet tip a lot. So I'm just going to quickly colour these. And you don't have to colour it all with the pens. I'll come back and give that a bit of shading later. To get all those bits. I also need the colour lifter, don't I? Alright, so colour lifter. So, and I'll come in with the dark Cajun craze and do the centres. The stamen, is that what they're called? Centre of flower, those stamens. Long time since I did that at school. Alright, just missed a bit over here. So I'll just come in with some dark old olive and you like that bit on the video, did you, Rails? Yeah. I thought, oh, I've done that once, you know, embossed and then forgotten to, I think I forgot to put the lid on or something and had powder. Oh no, I know, it was at a camp. At my camp recently, I put embossing powder on a layout and thought I'd got it all off, but I hadn't, and it blew everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Can I tell you? It was so embarrassing. But anyway, everybody laughed, and I think that's the main thing, you know, if you can have a bit of a giggle at yourself, it's all good, isn't it? Like, we all make mistakes, we're all human, and you know, where would we be if it was a perfect world? We're all different. I know I'm totally different to my twin sister. We're fraternal twins, not identical, but and my twins are different. They're fraternal twins, boy and a girl. But I used to say when they were growing up, between the two of them they make a whole person. What Amy has in organisation and all that. They're just, you know, both totally different, but yeah, get on quite well. Alright, so that's the leaves done, and then I'll come in with the colour lifter. I just blend those into each other, and I take probably a little bit of the colour out as I blend, and you shouldn't be able to hear that squeaking like a mouse. My bad. Okay, so we just need the flowers to do. Now all these little buds, I'm just going to do them in light blackberry bliss, and I'm really just touching the paper very lightly, just using like a dotting method. You have to come up with a method that suits you the best. I just find this is easy. And it also means you haven't got so much ink in there that it's coming outside the lines, because you don't really want it to seep out beyond the image. Alright, so I'll just come in here with these flowers, and again a dotting sort of method, and notice that I'm not doing the whole petal. I'm leaving some parts of the petal probably too much on that one, some parts of the petal light, and then I'll come in with the dark in a minute, and we'll do a bit of that. Alright, so my Stampin' Blends club, you can choose 3, 6 or 12 months, and at the end of 12 months, for $50 a month, you'll have all the Stampin' Blends, which is more than I can say for me. I haven't got the new ones yet. I need to go in and get them. I do like the Stampin' Blends. I've never used any other brand alcohol markers, so I've got nothing to compare to, but for somebody who's not good at colouring, that's me, I love these because they're a bit like when I used to teach kids, I'd say to the staff, don't let kids have textures. It makes colouring too easy for them, and it doesn't help develop the fine motor muscles in their hands. But Stampin' Blends is like colouring with textures, because it just fills up the space and you just need a light touch. Your hand doesn't ache. They're just gorgeous to work with. So what's been your experience with Stampin' Blends? Do you have a love-hate relationship with them, or do you like them, or what do you think? Alright, So I need to come in and colour these dark bits down here and some in here. Alright, then I'm going to come back and just come into the centre and come out a bit with the dark. And again, I'm not, you know, I'm not doing this terribly carefully. As you might have guessed, colouring's not one of my favourite things, but I don't mind it with the Stampin' Blends. And because they're alcohol markers, they do tend to dry sort of fairly quickly. So I press harder with the colour lifter, and I'm just really going over all those areas, and see how the areas I left white I can shade in with the colour lifter. And it just gives you that depth of colour. There's this bit up here, and you can go back and add more colour later. You know, you don't you're not confined to just one lot of colour. I'm going to come in and take a bit off these little buds. You can probably notice it on the larger ones. And the colours will lighten as it dries. So back in with the dark. And I'm really just coming out from the stamens with it, going around some of these edges here to give it a bit of definition. I might try and do these three flowers together, I think. Add some dark ones in. Alright, in with the colour lifter. And the colour lifter helps blend as well. And I'm happy to leave sort of parts white because you find that in nature as well. Or vanilla they are, because it's on very vanilla cardstock. And I found the thick very vanilla and the thick whisper white are good, but so's the shimmery white. So don't forget to give that a bit of a go as well when you're playing with your Stampin' Blends. Alright, so that'll do for those. I might just come back in with the Cajun Craze again and do those centres just to darken them up. Okay, now I need a die, don't I? This die, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. How's that? All right, in with the big shot. So, anyone else doing some crafting today? Thanks for sharing. Rails. Oh, thanks, Helen. I'm glad you like it. I'm no colouring tutor. I do easy. Whatever's easy. All right, I think that's about lined up. A bit hard to see when you're doing the video because you can't get over the top of it. I like to be over the top of my dies to make sure I have them lined up properly. And I must say the Stampin' Up cut and emboss dies are beautiful to work with. They really are. So much easier than the ones that we had before. Cut perfectly first time. Look at that. And just drop out quite easily, as you saw. All right, now I'm also going to use the sprig punch today with some vellum. This is my new favourite trick. Is to add some little sprigs. So don't waste your vellum, you know, do it along an edge and as close to each other as you can. I don't know how many I'm going to need. Probably 3 is enough, but we'll cut a couple more. Alright, now I've easily got 5 out of a card front. So, and then I can go back in and use the other side and use the middle as well. So that's the sprig punch we're using. So don't waste your vellum. It's like everything, you know, everything costs money. So you want to get the most out of it that you can. All right, now I'm just going to pop some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this. And we're nearly finished. Now next week I thought I might play with the these sprinkles. So I might even try and do a page with them. Alright, so I'm going to put this on my pouch. Yeah, so I thought I might try and do a page, a scrapbook page next week with the sprinkles. So come along and join me. Watch me make a mess. Alright, so I'm just going to put these maybe on there like that. Then this can go on there like that. So I'll put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, on the side I messed up before. See, 2 sides to every piece of card. But you knew that, didn't you? Alright, and this will make a really lovely gift for somebody. Pop some chocolates or something inside. Right. Alright, and then some glue dots. Glue dots for our sprigs. I think 3 would be more than enough. So I just pick up bits. And add the sprigs. And whilst they're probably a bit more difficult to see on the camera, they just add an extra dimension to the project. One more I need. There we go. Got all these sprigs. Keep them for another project. Put this one under here, I think. Alright, so now don't forget, all these products are available in my online store. Go to libbystamps.com and click on the shop button in the top right hand corner and you can shop with me. I'll just get rid of some of this mess while I chat a bit. Went to bed the other night and I found Stampin' dimensional backings all over the carpet. Don't know how they got there. I blamed Bob. He's getting a bit sick of me blaming him for things. Alright, so there's our pouch, which will fit quite a bit in. You could add some ribbon to it. You could punch some holes in the top if you wanted to and add some ribbon there. Anyway, so we've used the sprig punch. We've used Stampin' Blends. Stampin' Blends. We've used the tin tile impressions folder and Bloom and Grow bundle for our project today. So thanks so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the crumb cake looks, just sort of brings it up a bit, doesn't it, Helen? Thanks for your lovely comments. I appreciate that. All right, so thanks so much for spending time with me today. And don't forget, shop with me, libbystamps.com. And I'll see you again next week, same time, same back channel. Okay, bye for now.
Everybody plays a part in doing what we love.